Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to...
Okay, now arising from what you just said, what are the 5 most critical reasons why businesses fail?
Now, the first thing I will say to you is lack of planning. And this planning is so wide. I have talked about passion. People at times go into what they do not have a passion for. And without passion, you are just wasting time. You are just going to be doing something that you are not cut out for. Passion, planning, lack of capital to even finance your dream, high cost labor, energy. I mean, I've mentioned 5, but I can go on and on. Relationship management, poor relationship management, poor marketing, even your inability to define your services, your service offering, to distinguish your business from the other. What am I doing differently in my business that makes people want to come back to me? What is my unique selling proposition to the people that are patronizing me? If you don't get all these things right, you are not different from just any other man doing what you are doing. So if you must excel, you must have passion for what you are doing. I've never seen somebody that says he doesn't like numeracy and then he goes to become an accountant. He may become an accountant, but how far will he go? You are not a numeric person, and then you want to be an engineer. How will that happen? If you manage to become an engineer, maybe you are going to go and work. Maybe you are going to go and work. I don't even know, maybe admin person, or you are going to end up becoming something else. But you must define your passion, then you must plan. You must do your little planning, financial planning. Have a budget. You don't need anybody to be able to sit down to write down, what do I need? What capital do I need? What amount of labor do I need? How much will I pay them? What are my expectations?
To save more money in 2024, what is the best way, or what are the best ways to go about that?
The best way to save up money is to take a look 2 years and list out your expenditure. Go back to 2021, 2022, and 2023 and list out your expenditure pattern. What did you spend money on in these last 2 years? In these last 2 years, what have you spent money on that you think is avoidable? Separate your needs from your wants. When you are able to separate your needs, focus on your needs. Draw up your expenditure, your expected expenditure pattern from 2024. Because you have looked at 2022, you have looked at 2023, those 2 years should give you some lessons. If you are truthful to yourself, there are things you are doing in those 2 years which you don't necessarily need to do in 2024 to succeed. So that gives you an inkling into how you can curtail your expenditure pattern, how you can avoid the avoidables. If you are not able to do that truthfully, then you are going to have problems. Now, let's look at the other side of the coin. Will your income grow in 2024? Or are you facing loss of income? How would you cope with the rising cost of feeding, rising cost of living? What is your rent in 2024 going to be? When you have totaled all your honest expenditure and you are comparing with your income, is it that you have a gap? When you have a gap, your income cannot finance your honest expenditure. After you have scrutinized it and you have been truthful to yourself that this expenditure you must incur, they are your needs, not your wants. I explained earlier on the difference between your needs and your wants. A lot of people are carrying assets that are not useful to them, but they are carrying it because they are sentimentally attached to those assets, or they have a mentality of my Mercedes is bigger than yours. There are things you don't really need to spend money on that you are carrying because you're sentimentally attached to it. If you live in a 3-bedroom house and you need to downgrade to a 2 bedroom, why not? So this is what I'm saying. You must be truthful to yourself. And what is savings? You can only save money when your income exceeds your expenditure. If you have not met your expenditure, where will the savings come from? People mouth it. You must try and save no matter what. If your income is 100,000 and your honest expenditure that you must meet is 150,000, you will in fact be looking for how to borrow money to meet up 150,000 than save. But when your income exceeds your honest expenditure, then the difference can be saved. Now, you make it a habit to put aside some savings for the rainy day, and that can be factored into your planning. If you plan to save 50,000 naira every month, if you plan to save 50,000 naira every month, you are going to count it as part of your honest expenditure, honest cash outflow, the money that must flow out of your hands into a savings account. And then, how will I generate income? Do I need to expand my market? Do I need to do things differently? Do I need to watch my costs? Are there theft in my establishment? Are people stealing my goods? Or am I rendering good services to my customers? Am I as an individual able to train and be useful to myself at my spare time? A lot of people are training now to become tech savvy people. Am I able to do some trainings that enables me to earn some passive income so that I can meet my obligations and then put aside some of my income, some of my cash inflow for savings? So everything needs planning. You don't just know something that you want to save. You must plan towards